bloody water. That was what Adam, a very blonde and popular boy in my 6th grade class, wrote in my yearbook at the end of the year. He wrote it in big squiggly letters right in the middle of the page, so that everyone else who was signing it, like, KIT, here's my AIMSN, have a great summer, bloody water. There it was. I mean, middle school is cruel, but why would he do such a thing? Let's rewind. The year is 1999. The Spice Girls have told us what they want, what they really, really want. And everyone is still pretending that Ricky Martin is straight. Bleach tips and that gel duck butt thing are in for boys. And glitter and tattoo chokers, the first time around, are in for girls. I am 11 years old, and my mother walks into the room singing, "I can see by our trash can that you have your period." That was her sense of humor. Well, that was it. There was no hiding it anymore. I had gotten my period. I wasn't concealing it out of any shame for my changing body or anything. I was just afraid that once people knew that I had my period, I wouldn't be allowed to do the things I liked. And my suspicion was partially confirmed by the fact that my mom would not allow me to use tampons at first because she thought I was too young. So here's the thing. I am a Southern California beach child. I have known how to swim longer probably than I've known how to use the toilet by myself. I nearly drowned in the Pacific Ocean when I was 6 years old, and I ran right back into the water the same day. This is a really important thing for me. Turns out you need tampons to go swimming when you're on your period. It's hard to emphasize how heartbreaking this was for me. Equally heartbreaking was the fact the 6th grade end-of-year class beach party was coming up. Now, I'd gotten my period a week before. All the books I'd read on the topic said that once you get your period, it'll, stay for a week or less, maybe a few days. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to this beach party. I got a new swimsuit. I got my boogie board. All of my friends are going to be there. Is this going to stop me? Hell no. Well, except a week later, my period was still there. But you know what? I just lied to my mom and told her it was gone, it's over, so I could go to that beach party, and we wouldn't have to have the tampon argument. So off I went, in my brand new suit, with my boogie board, all my friends and half the boys I had developed a crush on that year. Stuck a pad in my swimsuit, figured I'd be all good. Well, first of all, the regrets started as I was doing my Baywatch run in the ocean with my boogie board tucked under my arm. And the plastic clasp on the top of my brand new swimsuit liberated itself from the tyranny of my adolescent B-cups. I stood there clutching my chest while all of my classmates howled in laughter as one of my friends ran back to the beach and got the nearest mom, who fixed my top with some board short string, California. And so I was good to go again, right? Well then, as I stood there, boogie board, kind of planted in the sand, waiting for that next wave to roll in, my friend Amber points behind me and says, "Sarah, did you cut your leg?" All of those howls of laughter before turned into shrieks of disgust. Oh my God! Oh God, there's blood! Oh, she's bleeding everywhere. It's disgusting. Watch out for sharks. I inched back to the shore, clenching my legs together as much as I could. And I spent the rest of the 6th grade class beach party sitting on a towel, burning up in shame. When my mom came to pick me up later, I cried to her about it. I was embarrassed. But instead of saying something nice and conciliatory like she usually would, her voice got really cold and distant. And she just kind of gripped the steering wheel and stared ahead and said, "Honey, sometimes you just have to sit things out when you're on your period." Something that I would later identify as feminism boiled up in me, and I just practically shouted at her, "That's bullshit!" Later that summer, after I had gotten out of trouble for swearing at my mom, she offered to take me and my friend Amber to the grand opening of a new water park called Not Soap City. She was writing a story for the newspaper about the opening, and she could get us in for free. I was so excited, except I had gotten my period. Not 1 week, 2 weeks before, and it was still there. This was when my mom and I were figuring out that something was probably wrong, And what I would later find out was something called polycystic ovarian syndrome was making my period come for 2 weeks and then go away for a week and then come back for another 2 weeks. It was leaving me anemic with dizzy spells, and I was fainting at school, and I had cramps that would just like leave me unable to function. All this at like 11 years old, you know. And I'm a kid. And I still want to do kid things, like go to a water park and swim in the ocean. So the night before we were set to go to Soak City, I said to my mom, I demanded, 1, let me use tampons, and 2, teach me how to use them. Probably moved by my relative youth and the fact that my period was trying to kill me, she relented. And she gave me a box of tampons, told me to read the instructions, and then shouted instructions at me from behind the bathroom door. While I slowly, clumsily learned that vaginas are not the up and down thing that they show you on, school health diagrams. That shit is diagonal. So after a lot of pain and struggle and tears, and my mom shouting, "Don't lose the string," I triumphed. I went to Soak City, and there was no blood in that water.
Yay!